Hi, this is Jason Most with InRoads Credit Union, and I'm super excited to present the Season 2 of DIY with InRoads. We're kicking off Season 2 tonight with DIY expert Shannon Quimby. We're going to do DIY with InRoads every third Wednesday of the month through the rest of the year. So tune in to Facebook Live at 6 p.m. the third Wednesday. And again, you're going to get money-minded ideas on how to save doing DIY projects with InRoads. So back for Season 2. She was our superstar in Season 1. Shannon Quimby, DIY expert.
Man, oh man, I gotta love that intro. Superstar, DIY. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jason. And yeah, I'm so fired up. I mean, the response that we had last season of Season 1 of DIYs with InRoads was so positive and so like we want more. I'm so fired up to be here, kicking off with episode 1. And so, of course, we're DIYing. What my expertise is about stuff we already have, stuff we got lying around the house, okay? Because we want to save money. I've been doing it my entire life. And so everything that we're gonna be doing tonight is items, it's all springtime tabletop decor that we have lying around the house. Simple, easy, and affordable, in some cases free. Okay, so we're gonna kick it off. Now, first of all, I don't know if you can see on here, but I have this big pile of stuff, junk, crap, whatever, it depends who you talk to. I always love it when somebody says, Shannon, I got stuff lying around, you want it? And I was like, yes, because you don't have the vision of what we can change it into. So this is kind of the before right here, and then we're gonna do the after, which is this blank area over here, and it's gonna be something else. So we're gonna start with all this, and it's gonna turn into springtime tabletop decor. So we're gonna get going. And if there's any questions throughout this, don't hesitate to pipe in. Jason will be talking through back and forth on that. Happy to answer any questions, all right? So the first one that we're gonna start off with is paper. Now, we always have paper lying around the house. Now when I say paper, it could be anything from paper bags to scrap paper to say wallpaper, or even leftover, I have leftover craft paper. It is basically anything paper related. Also maybe even books. I've done this project with big books of this gardening with flowers. Really simple and easy. So, you just start off, this is just some scrap papers that I had lying around the house. So the first thing you want to do is you want them to be in equal shapes and sizes. So this right now, I just have them in 2 squares. Very easy. So I lay them down, and the thing about all my projects that I'm gonna show you is that you can do these in literally minutes. So this one, paper, you flip it upside down, and then just get standard Scotch tape, no problem, like this. And you're going to be basically taping the 2 pieces of paper together. Like I said, this is just some leftover craft paper I had. Vintage wallpaper, I've done it, looks really good too. And I'm doing 2 different, I'm thinking springtime colors. So I'm doing 2 like this, and it's gonna be a checkerboard. So this is the beginning, like that. So you line them up, and you want to have the tape all the way to the end. Notice on this one, and this, I'm doing this on purpose to show you, like, not what to do, which saves you time, because I've always, like, everything I've done is like, been there, done that, don't do it again. So this is an example. See how the paper frays at the end, like this, it's not taped. You want to make sure, and I'm going to set this aside, that your pages are taped all the way to the edge, like that, okay? Now, the next step, and I literally kept the packaging so you can see what I'm talking about, is, and you can get this at any craft store, or you can order it online, but these are they're called a border punch. This one I'm using right here is Viscars, and they come in all different patterns. Think lace, Okay, and so think of like hankies and all the edges, they're all so different. A lot of vintage hankies where our lace, the edges and the seams are all slightly different. That's basically what a border punch does. So this is the border punch. Then, so here's the two that I started up right here like this. And then I'm going to start punching. I line it up. I've already done one side, but I line it up. And it has, oh, I'll show you real quick. It has this pattern right here, okay? And so when you line the paper up, it's gonna line up every punch like the pattern, so you're not just punching and overlapping and have a mess. Now, if you've never done a border punch, just do a scrap piece of paper first and practice doing the punch. So I'm just lining this up like so, and there's lines on this. It's hard to see on this way, but I can see the lines, and I just push like that. You know, like the old, the 3-ring hole punch that we had, it's the exact same concept. And then I'm just gonna be lining up all the way around, all the way to the edge. This one, like so. And then, oh, here's a really good example. I did this on purpose again. I'm gonna line this. See how I have that gap right there? It's because I moved the paper far too down. That's fine, no problem, because you can line it up again on the punch and bring it back. So it's basically, as you take it, so that one, right, I had a gap, and I'm gonna show it to you. I'm like, line that up, and then I'm gonna, it's like, oh, I missed a spot, so I'm gonna step it back one. Let's see if I can get that, like so. There we go. See? See what I did? Okay, so I line it up. And now this one, see, I have the border like that, but then on this side, I got rid of the border. All I did was just cut that off. And so then I take that same punch and I go all the way down, like so. Let's see, I don't know, I'll get this out of the way. Like that, and that makes that really pretty fringe. So then I take that same concept and I just we're making a table runner. So simple. So it's kind of like a caterpillar. It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, okay? Like an accordion, like this. So here's a long one. Now before I lay that out, here's another little thing that I do. Just kind of pizzazz it up on the tabletop. I'm just gonna toss this down the ground, okay? So when I do tabletop decor, I like to layer, and it gives it a little more depth and a little more funness to it. So I raid my closet all the time. And this is just a scarf that I have. And if you don't have a scarf, you guys, seriously, these are $10 a dozen. You can get these at the dollar store. Or you can, I have 3 sisters, so you can just go and raid their closet. So, which I think I did, by the way. So this is just a scarf, and look how long these are, okay? It could be a great table runner, so that's what this is gonna be. So I will literally take this, and it's my first layer. So I would put this over maybe the original tablecloth, or maybe if not, you don't even have a tablecloth, you can just put it right on top of the table. I'm gonna lay it down nice and flat like so, okay? And then, so pretend that this is going that way, okay? Get this nice, like so. And then I take my accordion paper runner that I just made with scrap paper, and then you lie that on top of it like so. Can you see that, Jason, on that? Look, can you guys see that? Okay? So like so, exactly. So, this whole thing, this cost me $15. That's all that, this was $15. So I robbed this out of my closet, I had the paper, and the cool thing about the punch is that you can use this over and over and over again in a whole bunch of different crafts. So really simple, really easy. Also, I mentioned that this is springtime, okay? Every single one of these projects I'm gonna show you, you can take it to each season. So you can literally change the colors with the exact same stuff you've got lying around the house. And that's what's also great about what I like to share about salvage and repurpose DIY, is that you can take the same recipe, and just by changing the paper or the fabric or anything such as that, the thread, you can do it into another season. So that's the first one. I'm sure I didn't lose you because it was just paper, tape, and a hole punch. Okay? So, move this out of the way. Now, the next one is, and I'm sure, oh, excuse me, I forgot to plug in my glue gun. So I'm gonna step out for just a second and plug that in. Okay? Give that a second, no problem. That's the beauty about glue guns, they heat up really fast. So, old trays, you can't even sell these at the garage sale, right? I mean, this basically dates these. My grandmother had these sets, my mom had these sets, old tins. If you go to any thrift store, these are just lined up on the shelves. And so there literally is a glutton of all of these tins and trays. And I thought, okay, well, springtime, tabletop decor, what can we do with these? Well, really, really simple. So, I got these, they're these cute, these little spray cans. Look at these little spray paints. FYI, don't pack these on the plane, which I just did. Yeah, it's an aerosol. And so I had to go buy them because they Kaiboed them on the plane. Yeah. I can DIY, but sometimes, you know, I don't think all the way through where I'm going. But, yeah, I know, gotta share. So, I got two colors. I am doing kind of the same tone in here like this. And it's really simple. Now, I'm going to pretend to spray paint because I'm indoors. You never want to spray paint inside, okay? It's very important to spray in a very well-ventilated area or outside. So just pretend. So here's this old tin. Actually, this was a gift that was given to me and a plant, and I'm done using it. And so this fun color, I love this color. This is called a satin rose petal, okay? And so you're gonna spray, yeah, there's sound, I do sound. So you're gonna spray the tin, okay? You don't have to worry about spraying the top of this or the inside. What you want to do is you definitely want to get all the sides. And it's probably gonna take about 2 coats when you get all done, okay? So also when you spray these at Michael's, you can also, I'm sure you can also order them online. And they were like $3 a piece. So very affordable. And I like the little ones because a lot of times, how many times you get the big spray paint and you do a project and then you have all this little bit left over of spray paint and it's not enough to do another project? Yeah, that happens a lot. Okay, so I'll set this down. So now you've got your 2 finished painted pieces. This one, this is going to be your base, okay? You're going to turn it upside down like so. Then you get your glue gun. If you don't have a glue gun, you can also get that at any craft store. You can actually get glue guns now at the hardware store, okay? And then also, so if you've never worked with a glue gun before, there's some glue guns, they have different sizes of glue sticks. It's true, so I've been there. Like I buy the glue gun and then I buy the glue stick, and the glue stick is too small for the size of the glue gun. So make sure that, because they usually have 2 different sizes. So this is a smaller size. So make sure that the glue stick goes with the glue gun. Now, for those of you that DIY all the time, you're like going, yeah, Shannon, I know that. I get it, but you know what? We've been there, and the reason you knew it is probably because you were like me and you bought the wrong size to begin with. So, make sure the glue stick is the same size for the glue gun, okay? Then, here's my glue, and then all you're gonna do is you're gonna go around the inside edge, and you have to work pretty fast on this, okay? Because it does cool fairly quickly with the glue gun, but you definitely don't wanna touch it. It's hot, hot, hot. It does hurt your fingers. So, then you take this, turn it upside down, and you're gonna, I eyeball it, okay? Now, for those of you that go, oh, I couldn't even eyeball it, it's just gonna be so off-centered. No problem. If you wanted to, you can take a tape measure, you can put on here and take a pencil, okay? And then you can go all the way around the pencil, and then you can line it up like that, okay? And then you just let that set and cool for a little bit. Now, while that's doing that, I'm gonna show you another one.
Shannon, I just want to remind our viewers that if they have any questions, they can put them in the comments. We'll be answering questions along the way, and then we'll have some time for some Q&A at the end.
Great,
so.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Pipe in, happy to answer any questions, or even feedback too. That'd be really cool too, because we always learn from everybody. So this one, look at this one turned out fun too. So, right? Look at that, that's so cute. Now this one, you don't have to, once again, the great thing about these trays, this is an oval. You can do a square, you can do a rectangle. This one is much taller, and I'm gonna mention why I like to do that. But these two colors, by the way, are this one, because that's one of the things like, oh, what color was that? This is called Caribbean green, right here. That's what the base was. And this one is called turquoise. So it's just blue turquoise. So I did the exact same concept of this that I did with that, okay? And I'm just gonna set that over there. Is that still in frame?
Yeah.
Awesome, okay. Now, so one last step, because remember I said on these, I'll reach down. When I was gluing that, you know, and it has that ridge, sometimes the glue falls into the center here, and so it's not gonna stick really tight to that. You're gonna have some space in between the tray and that, and the rim. So that's why when I let this cool, oops, see? Did you see that? I didn't get it all the way. Oh, ooh, yes, even the expert, okay? So that's okay, but I know where it's at, and I can literally, I'm gonna flip that down, and I take that and I go a bead all the way around, see? Like so. And that's gonna secure it, like this. And that's gonna get in the holes, like that. Okay? It's kind of like piping. You're like doing piping on a cake. And that's really gonna secure it from one side to the other. And also, remember I mentioned about this? You can spray paint these different colors, different seasons. So fun, right? So, what I love about these two, and there's different heights. Let's see if that stays. I'm gonna just flip it. So I like to layer. So notice that I'm already layering, right? I layered with the scarf, I layered with the paper runner, and now I've layered with the trays, and so I've made these cake trays, you know? And it's also nice because it lifts the food up when you're doing a tabletop decor. And so I just love that, it's so cute. Look, it's springtime. And so, you know, look at these cute little cupcakes. But it just really kind of zazzes it up. So you take a glutton of just junk, right? And stuff that you see all the time at the thrift stores, you know, like this, right? This to that. Really simple, really, really simple. And this whole thing in between drying time, because spray paint dries, once again, you do light coats and it's gonna dry and it's not gonna drip. This whole thing, with the spray paint thing, that took me like a half an hour because I let it properly dry in between coats. And that was it. So once again, I had those trays laying around, and the paint, if you just do two colors, that's like $8, under $8. And if you have your glue sticks. So once again, really affordable, saves money, you're repurposing, you're not throwing it out. And also, the best part about DIYing is that everything that you make is original. It's original to you, and you've made this from your heart. And you're not going out and buying it, you're repurposing. So that's already two that we've done in the short period of time. So we're gonna keep going. So what also do we have a lot of? Clothes, a lot of clothes, definitely, okay? So, and also we have a lot of vases. I have so many of these. You know, you get flowers, hopefully sometimes you get flowers, or you gift flowers and you end up having these. I have a big garage sale every year, and if you put these on the table, if you go garage sailing, everybody has these, and you have them at the end of the garage sale too. You have them at the beginning, and you get a look at them all day long, or for the next 2 days, and they're still there at the end, okay? So, a simple thing that you can do, and this is fun, a lot of clothes, always have so many clothes. That's one of the biggest, if you ever gone to a thrift store, what do they have most of? Clothes. So, This is a dress of mine. Doesn't fit anymore. Just is what it is, right? So you can take clothes that don't fit anymore or are out of style. And this is just basically an old dress that I had. This kind of went out of style. And actually I have two. This was a cute little sundress that got too tight on me. I loved it, it was so cute. But anyway, real simple. You just have this vase. This is such an easy peasy. And I've just cut, now for those seamstress people and those that like to really measure everything, this is gonna drive you crazy, okay? I'm literally just like a hacker. I'm a hacker with some scissors. So I basically take, I'll show you. I'll start from the beginning like this. So I'll take this. The beauty about this one is, look, I got two different fat pieces of fabric, two different patterns. So I got the underline of the skirt and then the top. So that was like a bonus. So I will literally take this and I go around like so, and then I take the scissors and then I just cut it. So like when you're cutting bangs and you don't measure when you're younger, you just go like that. Yes, that's what you do. And so I did that with this top piece. That's why we have this open here, okay?
I have a quick question for our viewers. How many of you cut bangs during COVID? Comment below.
Yeah, I did. I cut my son's bangs. Yep. So, now see what I did? See this? This is, if you wanted to, you could measure and circle it, but this is the bangs. This is the DIY version of bangs. So my sister cut my long hair off when she was 3. I woke up, I was sleeping, and I woke up and I had the old crooked bang look one morning. Yeah. So there it is, cut it. Then you just, it's okay, you want it to go over the rim, okay? Like so. Tuck it in. Then you just get a rubber band. And I take the rubber band. And that's because that's what's going to keep the fabric like that. Okay? And I pull it. So simple, so easy. I know they're so easy, but they're so fun. And look how long that took, like minutes. Then for this, here's this dress. I did the same thing. I just cut a strip. I just went around the base of the dress and I eyeballed it again. Now you don't have to if you don't want to. And I just basically cut around the bottom and I went, I'll just go like maybe an inch, and I just cut a strip all the way around till I got to the all the way around of the dress. So I have this little, nice long strip, and I pull it tight like that, okay? So the reason I'm doing that is because I don't like the look of the rubber band. So then I'm basically just wrapping this around like so, with a little knot, like a bow, okay? Like that, pretty, tuck that in. You get some flowers, I'm gonna reach over here, like so. Put water in, yes. And then I just stick the flowers in, like that. How pretty is that? So you go from plain Jane, can't get rid of the vase, to a simple springtime tabletop decor, and which is awesome because things are starting to open up. And eventually we will be having friends over and family back over, which is fantastic. And this is something that you can spruce up the table. Okay, note to self, whatever you cut up, make sure it's not the person that gave you that piece of clothing. And then they come over and they're like, why does that look so familiar? It's like, oh yeah, that's that skirt you gave me for Christmas. Okay, so just saying. So I'm gonna put that in that cute, like that. So really simple thing. Can you see that in frame? Okay, excellent. All right, now, another vase, because we always have more vases. So let's go back. Notice I'm starting to color coordinate, right? I'm doing this on purpose, but I'm repeating the same patterns. So here's another vase. This one works really well with a cylinder vase, okay? So I have 2 cylinder vases. I take the same paper that I used on my paper table runner. Now, I'm going to show you the not version. And see, you take a piece of paper And you want to make sure that it goes all the way around the vase. This one doesn't, okay? So you might want to find paper or the vase that you have that makes sure it goes over all the way around. It's going to overlap. I'll show you on that. So I'll get rid of that one. So here's a smaller one I have. And so here's this paper, and it's going to go all the way around. And you want it to overlap like that. All right? You also will need double-sided Scotch tape, double-sided sticky. And so if you don't know what that is, that means it sticks on both sides of the tape, okay? Now, you're gonna mark it like this and hold it and go all the way to the bottom. This one, and maybe some don't have a flat edge like this one, and say your paper does go all the way around, so you have wrapping paper, okay? And you can take it all the way down if it has a lip, and I'm gonna hold this up so it goes down, you can see the lip of the glass. That's fine too. You still wanna just have like a nice edge, okay? All right, so I'll get that one out of the way. Okay, so back to my little guy. It's overlapping, and then I hold it. Then I, like this, so I got a nice grip on it. Make sure it stays down like this. I usually put it up on my tummy, like so. And then what I do is that I take my fingers and I crease it all the way around at the top. And I slowly move it around and I crease just enough so I can visually see the crease. Okay? So I'm denting the paper. I'm creasing the paper. And I go all the way around. And then when I get done, I've made myself a line here, a crease. Then I'm going to fold it at that crease, like so. Okay? So then I got a nice crisp edge. And then I cut it. So we're going to cut this out. You follow the edge. Now, if you, for somebody who's like, well, I can't see that edge, that's fine. You could even turn it over and you can get a pencil, and then you can line a pencil on the edge to help yourself out, okay? So if you can't see that. So then you just basically cut down the crease, the fold that you made, like so. Okay? Easy peasy. Here's one I already did. Get these two out of the way. Okay, here's that. My double sticky sided tape. Because remember, I'm gonna go like this and I'm gonna overlap it like that. So the one end the paper's gonna overlap on, that's where you put your tape on, right? Okay, and so, you always want, the one bummer thing about double-sided sticky tape, and I don't think you can see it, but the exposed piece that you have, it always gets dust and dirt and little hairy stuff on it and like that. So I usually pull it and then get rid of that piece, okay? Because you don't want that to see that. And so I'll take that all the way like so, and I'll put it at one end like that, okay? Like so. And then you just line this up like I did earlier. And I'm going to overlap it like that. Okay? Like so. Now, the great thing about this is that it doesn't damage your vase. Notice both of my DIYs doesn't damage the vase. I'm not painting the vase. I'm not dyeing the vase. And it also, it's easy, it's just, you basically made a cylinder and it just slides on and off like that. So here's a fun one I did. Put the same flowers in it. Notice the repetition, right? The pattern of repetition, like that. And, oh, I'm gonna put this one cute, like, I'll put this one right here. No, it's blocking. How about right there? Look at the stylist in me. Here, like this, yeah. So I'm actually a photo stylist for a lot of major decorating design magazines, Better Homes and Gardens, HGTV, and so I'm always styling, I'm always fluffing. So, but do you see what's happening? The pile of stuff, the leftover stuff, the stuff that we have too much, and how it's starting to gel and create and have fun and pennies, right? So you save money, you can put it in your savings account, which I've been doing since I was a little girl. My first savings account was at the credit union. My dad brought me up, and it was stuff that I made, and we sold it at our garage sale. and I was able to bring it up, and I think I made about $11, and that was huge. That was a huge amount of money. I was like 6 years old, and I put it in my savings account, all from the stuff that I made. I mean, I just felt like I was on top of the world. And once again, because I made it and we DIY'd it. And that's the beauty about this series, is that every class that you're gonna do, we're gonna be teaching you something. We're gonna be DIYing together. So, all right, so back to tabletop. So we've done the paper runner, we've done the cake plates, we did the skirt vase, and we did the paper vase. So that's 4. And I got another one for you. So once again, we're going back to fabric. These are, yeah, you can see I've used them already. These are a really cool pair of linen pants. These were a friend of mine's, and she didn't use them anymore. And I looked at them as fabric. I mean, it's just beautiful linen, just beautiful fabric. And this is a project that I've done and I've done it over and over and over again. And once again, it's really simple and it's really easy. So I'm going to get this out of the way a little bit. All right, so what you do is, get my scissors, is you're going to cut, and I already started, let's see, should I start at the same leg that I was at? Yeah, that's fine. You're going to cut it approximately 1.5 inches wide. Now, for those that you want to measure 1.5 inches wide, go for it. Once again, I just eyeball it. I also, my scissors, I use all my scissors for everything. And so even my good scissors I end up using, like cutting flowers. Oh my gosh, my mom would just be like, oh, those are my good scissors. So yeah, so I basically have craft cheap scissors for all the stuff I do. Which does make fabric cutting a little difficult because it gets, it doesn't go through very well, but in all these projects, it doesn't matter. So you continue, I'm gonna cut, and once again, I'm eyeballing it. You can measure, that's totally fine. And I'm gonna go all the way around the leg, okay? And so every pair of pants is different, and you don't have to use pants. You can use a dress again. You can use a nice little summer skirt. You can use an old shirt, okay? So I wanna make the strips about 2 feet long, okay? So if you want to, I would say maybe 20 to 24 inches long, each strip, okay? Now, and the reason why is because what we're making, you need to have the fullness of the length of the strip that you want to use. So as you can see, I'm just cutting all the way around the leg, and I'm eyeballing it. Once again, no problem, easy peasy, and I get to the end like that. So I have my strip, okay? Did I lose you? I don't think so. Now, I know, not too attractive right now, is it? No, definitely not. So here's a strip I already cut, okay? Same thing. Once again like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this strip into fringe, okay? So you take your same pair of scissors, and you're gonna start at one end, and you're gonna cut about 3/4 down to the other side. And I usually do, once again, notice I'm eyeballing this again, probably about anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/3 of an inch. You don't want to go really fat on this, and you don't want to do too skinny either. So that's what I'm saying, about 1/4 inch to 1/3 inch. Once again, I can eyeball that, and you just keep going down. It doesn't matter if they're off. That's the beauty about everything that we do DIY, is that the DIY police are never gonna show up. You're never gonna get a ticket for doing it wrong, okay? So we just keep going, like I said, about 75% to the edge, and you continue this whole thing all the way down to the very end, okay? So here's one, so you can see, I'm gonna open that up. See where I started making the fringe like that? See how it starts to separate? Okay, like so. So this one, yeah, there's another one. So I just keep going all the way down, okay? The best part about this project, this is great TV time. This is a great TV time. If you're watching something and you like to keep your hands busy, Notice every single one of these projects kids can do, okay? The only one would be like watch them with the spray paint. My son loves to spray paint. If he can spray paint it, yeah, he's not a taker though, don't worry. But he loves to create, and that's the part thing. You definitely need to monitor those with the spray paint, but everything else. And of course with the younger ones with scissors, truly. So you take it all the way down till you get something like this. And you have the fringe. Okay, isn't that fun? I love it. Who would ever think like these were a leg of a pair of jeans, a pair of linen pants, excuse me. So you go from the linen pants to a strip to cutting the fringe. Okay? Now, you go back to that glue gun. And so I'm going to lay this flat. This is really important, an important step here. So I'm going to lay it flat, and I'm going to lay it away from me. Okay? And I'm going to try and get all the little fringes flat, like so. Oh, that one's kind of lifted up. That's okay. All right, like that. Then I get the glue gun again. All right, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to start at one end, and I'm going to put glue on the portion of this fabric strip that I did cut. Okay, so it's that one last, like the quarter, it's the 25% that I didn't cut. And so I go and I start at the end and I go down, and I usually just go maybe like 4 inches. And the reason why is because the glue, if you decide to go all the way down, it takes a little time to roll it up. And if you do a long strip of glue, the glue's gonna already be too cool by the time you get to the end that you wanted to roll. And so notice I'm basically just rolling this up like you would roll a big carpet, you know? You just roll it up. And you can, so now I got to that end with the glue, and then I just do another section like this. And I just dabble it down like that, and I keep rolling, and you gotta make it tight, okay? And so what if you notice like, oh, it's gotten too loose? That's okay, you can pinch it and make it tighter like so, okay? Now, remember I said how important it is that you have to have the fringe lay flat? The reason why is because if you're rolling and the fringe starts to overflap, you're gonna roll the fringe into the section that you don't want to. So you gotta make sure that the fringe stays away from this section when you roll. Alrighty? Now, it does get a little hot on the fingers. So make sure that when you're doing this, that you're not burning your finger, because that does hurt, okay? And so it's the same thing. You're going to take this all the way, and you're just going to keep rolling and rolling, 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 all the way around till you get all the way to the end. And then it turns out something like this, okay? And you fluff it up. And you've just made a little fabric flower. So simple. And the cool thing about this is that they stand up by themselves. Now, I love these because, now here's the white one with the linen pants. But the beauty about springtime and flowers is every single flower is different. Every single one of them is unique. And I will take, so the same fabric with the same pieces of clothing, like I have the skirt and, the dress and the skirt, and then I have a shirt here like this, and the pants. I will, here's one that I made with the skirt. Here's the one, remember the dress that had the 2 different colors? Here's the little one I made with the dress. Now this one, notice I made 2 of them. So I did 2 shorter strips, and I rolled one, and then I rolled the other one on top of it. So I layered. Once again, you see the pattern, you see what's going on with that? And these are just like, I call them like little flower fillers. And you just can put them all around. They're really, really fun. They dress up the place. Plus also, the beauty about these is you don't have to water them. They last year round. So you can just put them, you can even put them up on your tray with the whatever you have, your like little cupcakes. It's kind of fun like this. Now, of course I just don't stop there, okay? So the next one is same concept, the exact same concept. But this time you get, oh, I'll just finish these guys. I'll put these here. They're so cute. There we go. Oh, no, see the styles to me. Gotta break up the colors. There we go. Okay. So the hair bands, okay, that we have, you put them in your hair. The fun thing about these is now they come in so many fun colors. When I was a little girl, no, we didn't have the fun colors. We just had rubber bands. Not even coated. Yeah, I'm dating myself. Yes, it was horrible. My hair, and then at night my mom's trying to pull out the rubber band and it's all this rubber and it's like pulling my hair out. Oh, yeah. Or then I had the ones, I'm totally going off script now. They had the ones that had the big balls on the end and you'd wrap them like this and then they'd snap open and snap you on the ends. Oh, I know, pain. We've come so far. With now color-coded hair bands. Oh, I know.
I think we need a DIY of scrunchies next.
Oh, well, thanks for the segue on that, because that's part of what this is all about. So I did the same concept, right? And with that, and I rolled this up and I stopped halfway. So I stopped halfway right here. Then I put, and I'll turn it, notice the color coordination going on. So at the end that I haven't rolled up yet, I put right in here, like so, okay? And I put it right to the spot where I already have glued. Lay that flat down again, like so. Let's get that. And I want the rubber band, I want the hair band, get those little fringes flat so I don't glue them. And I'm pulling it off to the side, okay? So away from the fringe, really important. And then I do that exact same thing. And now I take my strip of glue, pull it up like this, and then I'm pulling that little rubber band and I start to roll it. And notice I get this a little tight. I'm rolling it around. Oh, little fringe, get away there, okay? And I take it all the way down to the end. All I did on this one, I just added this one step where I put the rubber band on, okay? All the way like that. And you take it all the way down to the end. I might as well just finish this one. So simple, okay? Look at that, like so. Done. Fluff it up, okay? Now, I make them into napkin rings. So here's a napkin, which also I made from the linen pants. And so here's one, here's a rubber band like this, same thing, and wrap it around, and you have tabletop decor, okay? And so I'm gonna put that right there. How cute is that? Now, also, as Jason said, guess what? This looks great. The kids love it. And you can put them in your hair. And now, instead of just this, right? How fun is that? They made their own pom-poms. And then the beauty about that, especially with kids, this is a huge hit with kids. Kids grow, right? They're growing and growing and they grow out of their clothes. You can make these from some of their favorite t-shirts or the jeans that now are like, you know, like, were you wading in the water now? You know, because they grow so much. Or they stain them, which is usually the case, or they're ripped. But then they can make them into these cute little things like this and put them in their hair. So the beauty about it is like, right, there's like little accents. They can be napkin ring holders. They can be hair accessories. I've also used these as bows on top of packages. I've used these on frames where I take a picture frame and I'll make a whole bunch of these and I'll put them on the corners of the picture frames. See, it's just that's the great best thing about DIYing. There's no cap. There's no ceiling cap to creativity. You can just use it and have fun with it and play with it, because that's all that is. But once again, the key thing on this is you got to make sure that the strip's long enough, because if you do just a little short strip, then you just get this little floppy little flower, okay? Now, here's something else I wanted to share. Say you made your strip too fat, okay? So, remember I was talking about an inch to an inch and a half? Say you made something that was 2 inches, okay? So it's really wide. When you start rolling that up and you've made this wide, especially with this lightweight fabric, I would say the petals, it's just gonna it'll look like a mop. It's just gonna flop over and it'll just look like a floppy mop. Now, solution on that is back to the bang cutting, okay? So if it is too long and it doesn't stand up like this, you can literally pull them down like this, and with your scissors, and you eyeball it, and you can literally just go like this and start trimming the bangs, okay? And you can make it shorter, like so. And the reason I go like that is because I am trying to make my bangs straight, my flower bangs, okay? And that's going to then make that fabric, like that, stand up, like so, okay? And that's really cute. Oh, I'll just put it on another napkin, okay? Right, how fun is that? This is also great, you guys, if you're on a budget, on a wedding budget, okay? Springtime weddings, seriously, so simple. All of this is made free. You've repurposed it, and it's great conversation. That's the best thing too, is when you are creating with love and fun and spontaneity and with stuff you already have, you go from the piles, like so, right? All these piles, like this, and then you end up with something like that. And once again, the highlight of these is I'm repeating my patterns, I'm repeating my colors, okay? And I'm also repeating the texture and styles throughout. And that's what really brings the DIY springtime tabletop decor together, instead of just doing all different things. But that's not too shabby. I think all of this was probably, oh my goodness, what, under $18? And that includes the glue sticks, and the hole punch was 15 bucks. So that was a big chunk of that. And like, oh, $8, okay, under 25, because I'm not including the spray paint. But the beauty about this is that we've done, let's see, two, told you about the scarf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DIYs. 8 DIYs, all of this in minutes time. And once again, we saved money, had fun, and I don't know about you, but not too shabby. Not too shabby, yeah.
Well, thank you, Shannon. We have a little bit of time here for some questions or comments from viewers. But while they're typing up their questions or comments, can you tell us a little bit again about how you started in DIY?
Sure. Well, I started basically from the day I was born. You know what it did? It all stemmed from, we didn't have a lot of money. And so the whole thing about sustainability and green and eco and all the REs, repurpose, reuse, renew, all of that, for us, it was a lifestyle, okay? We never threw anything away. If it was broken, we fixed it. If we couldn't fix it, we would change it into something else. So I was literally taught how to reuse. And basically what we'd say is, my grandmother would say is like, oh, don't be wasteful. So we didn't waste anything. And that was, I guess, if you had the buzzword, we wouldn't be wasteful. So it was basically, for me, it was a way of life. In some cases, even to the point where when you start to become older and you go into school, I remember in middle school, brands, like clothing brands, became very popular, like what type of jeans you were wearing and the emblem that you were wearing. My mother would find Calvin Klein's were really, really hot. And my mom would go to a thrift store and find beatable Calvin Klein's, and she'd cut out the Calvin Klein label and she would sew it on the back of my very inexpensive $2 jeans that she found at a garage sale. And so, so I wore Calvin Klein designer jeans. And so that basically taught me how I can be resourceful, and yet at the same time, at that young age, with dignity, I mean, truly, and that just kind of kept blossoming. And it just was a way of life. And then from there, I just loved being creative. And from there, I decided to have like a little antique booth. And I did just a little 10 by 10 little antique booth, all just repurposing and garage sailing. And then from there, I decided to open up a little store. And I had a house and converted half of it into the store. And then I started doing antique shows and all about repurposing. And then a photographer came to one of the antique shows and says, "Oh my gosh, I love what you did. Is this kind of like your house?" I was like, "Dude, I just took this out of my kitchen this morning." And so he came over, scouted my kitchen. Next thing I know, I'm in Country Living magazine. And then next thing I know, I get a cold call from HGTV because they saw my kitchen in Country Living magazine. And it's just kind of kept going from there. Did 2 shows on HGTV back in the early 2000s. And now I style. I'm a photo stylist for HGTV for their magazine. And it's just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. All stemmed from the exact same thing from my grandmother, not to be wasteful. And so it was self-taught, and that's what DIY is. It's do it yourself. So yeah, the history of Shannon's DIYing.
Well, thank you, Shannon. This has been an awesome segment of DIY with InRoads. I just want to thank all of our viewers. Again, if you didn't catch the entire segment or episode of this DIY with InRoads, you can go to inroadscu.org/DIY to catch season 1 and now season 2. We'll ensure that we upload those videos like today's to that landing page so you can view it on your own time. You can follow along with Shannon and her other DIY videos to get new ideas on how to save money and have fun. So from all of us at InRoads and Shannon Quimby, DIY expert and stylist, please stay safe and healthy.
See you guys. Thanks for joining us.